Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jelen. Ever since Leon's question last week, I've been talking about how to do forecasting. Everything we've talked about so far is assuming a straight line situation where we just have a series that's extending in some sort of a straight line. Here we have some numbers 2, 4, 12, 29, 68, 160, and 285. Those are kind of spiking up rather dramatically. And if we used all of the tools we've talked about so far, for example, LINEST or FORECAST, we might generate a straight line forecast that just really is not going to do the job. I want to take a look down here at the graph. The blue line shows our growth is growing geometrically, really. I mean, it's some sort of a organic growth. Maybe it's the number of bacteria in a petri dish or something like that. And the straight line really is just not going to get it. I mean, here the prediction from the straight line says the next number is going to be 253, which is already less than the previous number. Clearly not going to work. Well, sometimes you have something that's not a linear growth, but it's a geometric growth. Excel has a whole bunch of tools for dealing with that. Instead of LINEST, they have LOGEST. Basically does the same thing. The idea here is that the line is growing by multiplication. So we start with some number, maybe 2, and then every iteration it multiplies by some other slope number. So the formula is y equals b times m raised to the x power, where x is the position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here I set up a simple prediction using the LOGEST instead of using LINEST. And let's take a look at the graph. I'm going to actually make the graph start to point to these numbers instead. So I'll drag the blue box over and we'll generate the new graph. Now here you see we have our blue line. Now the pink prediction line is almost perfect. So there are times if your growth is not linear, if it's actually geometric, that you want to switch over instead of using LINEST to use the LOGEST function. There's also a growth function where I had used the forecast function before. The growth function basically does the same thing for this type of a series. So to just be aware that there's some series that a linear forecast is going to be horrible. You might want to switch over and use a geometric forecast instead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another netcast from Mr. Excel.